So sorry, I got cut out. So this is part two of the guide. So they get stunned during the raid form because of chip of stone flesh, and that's only when you do this. Because when you do that in front of the enemy, like right in front of the enemy, they just explode because this is gonna be your highest instant damage spell. It's even stronger than Corpse Lance, and it has a chance to fear. Plus, it's instant, like boom, in your face, it gets hit right away, and it has a chance to fear, like I said. So most of the time, that's what I like. Although sometimes, if I detect that a team fight is too dangerous, then I do the usual bone skulls first, then enter like that. But if I'm confident in a team fight, then I will just shield, rate form, and then do the bone skulls. So this is like really it adds a lot of chaos in a team fight. Uh, it it does high burst damage and has a chance to fear. And once you've done that, you can just maybe run away and wait for the rate form cooldown again. So you're not gonna spend your time here doing your your primary attack. You're just gonna, once you do your rate form, bone skull, then corpse lance maybe combo, and then it's something, it's time to run away, stall sometime, so your rate form will be back on cooldown again. So that's the combo for this spell. So I hope I've explained properly why I choose specific essences. Now for the set items. So if you see, my set items is kind of weird. So there's two-piece Barons, two-piece Urge, and two-piece Windloft. So there is synergistic value in the set item choices. For one, Barons increases the duration of your rate form fear by 30%. This ignores resistance. This is like 30% right away. This is not something that can be reduced by resistance. The only thing that can be reduced by resistance are potency based CC. This is like raw 30% damage. So even if your enemy has like really really high resistance, this 30% will always trigger. Uh, so the purpose of this is for rate form and the fear of the communal rib. So the thing is, I also have this Windloft two piece. Now I don't value this too much, although it's really helpful. Movement speed is really really strong in PvP, but this is not something that I focus on. But this is like really OP. Blustered six pieces. When 1,000 wind deactivates, you send forth a tornado that deals damage and stuns people. You knock back them, and it stuns people for 2 seconds. This thing gets affected by Baron's two piece too. So people underestimate this because you're gonna be sacrificing two set. Now the thing is, uh, I have nowhere to put the two pieces. So for example, I use four-piece barons. This thing is although really nice, it's not that reliable in my opinion. Like yeah, you do a lot of CC, but the 20% damage during CC is not, it's not all the time, because you're gonna be doing a lot of corpse lance. Sometimes you're gonna be very far away and not doing CC at all if it's too dangerous to enter. So it's not something that's highly reliable. And if you do get someone in CC and you do skulls to them, they're just gonna explode anyway. And it's not something that you really need. This lasts, so if you CC someone for like 2 seconds, it will, this 20% damage will only last by 20%. So I've done some games where I've done four-piece barons. It's not that useful when in comparison to this two-piece windloft with the six-piece curse. This is really really strong, guys. So one problem for PvP is that it's too bursty in PvP. So this addresses that issue. When you do get attacked, they're just gonna be thrown away with the curse. So this is a lot of survivability in this build. That's why resurrection is not that reliable anymore. It's not that useful if you're just gonna die once or twice or zero times in PvP. So you're really slippery. You cannot be knocked back, and when you do get attacked, you throw them away with your 6-piece curse, and you lower the cooldown of your rate form. So this is a lot of synergy to your rate form and your survivability. So why do I use Vithus? So one of the winning things about this build is that this shield. So this shield, what I noticed, the more I share the shield to my parties, the more the likelihood of a team fight winning, of a battleground winning. So there were times where I neglect sharing this, like I just want to do it on my own. I win a lot more games whenever I have a chance to share the shield to others. I win a lot more games. Imagine you are giving monks and blood knights and crusaders a shield. They already have a lot of shield, and you are gonna give another shield on top of that. This is it blocks a lot of damage and makes them immune to knockback. It makes them immune to knockback. So that's all those melee chasers. They get anti knockback. The enemy necro can't even knock them back. So whenever you're in a team fight, try not to neglect. Although it's not all the time that you're gonna be sharing them, because there are other pressing things like fearing them, etc. But whenever you get the chance, you do share them. So this adds another layer of support whenever you're in a match where you are the lowest reso player. This adds another layer of support. You do become a lot more useful by shielding your whale players. Another thing, that's the reason why it makes the shield more reliable. But the most important thing about two-piece Vithus is the rate form. It increases the duration where you are invulnerable and fearing enemies. See, I'm really fair rate forming for a really long time here. By increasing the duration of rate form, you are essentially also lowering its cooldown in a sense. You're lowering its cooldown by, since you're invulnerable, you are not you do not consider the cooldown as something you have to wait on, because you are already invulnerable anyway. So this is why I essentially consider rate form like 5 seconds to 3.5 second cooldown whenever I'm in BG. So this synergizes a lot with the build. And what else can I share? So gems. So gems. Let's try to ignore this a little bit. The only reason I do this is because of the resonance. But echoing shade for PvP is not something that reliable. Although when they do get to hit in PvP, they're kind of strong. But although it's not something that you can rely on. Spiteful blood is pretty good in my opinion. It's not that good, but it's pretty good. So you get to be immune for a while, and it saved me a lot from a lot of times where when I'm expected to die from a demon hunter or a monk or even a blood knight doing their range normal attacks. So yeah, this is not like really really needed. Although if you do have this, it's kind of helpful. Bottled Hope adds a layer of support to your party members. The thing about movement speed is it doesn't get reduced by Cycle of Strife. So whenever you share 17% movement speed, you share 17% movement speed. So when you shield people, you give them movement speed and anti-knockback properties. You also do that to yourself. So Chip of Stone Flesh is pretty good in the sense that it makes corpse lance targeting a lot easier. The thing is, when you're playing and you fear someone, they move around a lot, they wiggle around a lot like dying chickens. So it's hard to target them with corpse lance. So, but when you rate form, then your fear essentially becomes a stun, and you can easily target corpse lance with them. Side note, by the way, don't try to play PvP with this build using a mouse and keyboard, because there's a bug in Corpse Lance for the mouse and keyboard that it makes the range really short. So in the mobile phone, Corpse Lance range is like really screen wide range, but when using the keyboard and mouse, the Corpse Lance range becomes middle range. So yeah, that's something you can think about. So what was I talking? Oh, so gems. So people underestimate this gem, Hellfire Fragment, but The thing, I can make some good arguments regarding